Great Astronomers, John Pond. Agnes Mary Clerke. Published, 1896. Categories: Non-fiction, Biography and Autobiography, Science and Technology, Science and Techniques, Science, Astronomy. Source: Wikisource, Dictionary of National Biography, http://n.wiki/bond_John_DNBOO. About Clerke, astronomer and writer, mainly in the field of astronomy. She wrote articles for the 1911 Encyclopædia Britannica and for the Dictionary of National Biography. Her sister Ellen Mary Clerke was also a writer on astronomy for the general public. Biography from http://n.wikisource.org/wiki/author Agnes_Mary_Clerke. John Pond, Astronomer Royal. John Pond was born in London in 1767. His father soon afterwards withdrew from business, with an ample competence, to live at Dulwich. Pond's education, begun at the Maidstone Grammar School, was continued at home under the tuition of William Wales, from whom he imbibed a taste for astronomy. His keenness was shown by the detection, when about 15, of errors in the Greenwich observations. At 16 he entered Trinity College, Cambridge, where he devoted himself to chemistry, but he was obliged by ill health to leave the university, and went abroad, visiting Portugal, Malta, Constantinople, and Egypt, making astronomical observations at his halting places. About 1798 he settled at Westbury in Somerset, and erected there an altazimuth instrument, by Edward Troughton, of 2½ feet diameter, which became known as the A. Westbury Circle T.M. His observations with it in 1800 A1801, A on the declinations of some of the principal fixed stars, ATM communicated to their Royal Society on the 26th of June 1806, gave decisive proof of deformation through age in the Greenwich quadrant, birds, and rendered inevitable a complete re-equipment of the Royal Observatory. Pond was elected a Fellow of the Royal Society on the 26th of February 1807. He married in the same year, and fixed his abode in London, occupying himself with practical astronomy. Troughton was his intimate friend, and Pond superintended, in his workshop, the construction of several instruments of unprecedented perfection. Dr. Neville Maskelyne, the fifth Astronomer Royal, recommended him as his successor to the Council of the Royal Society, and Sir Humphrey Davy, who had visited him at Westbury in 1800, brought his merits to the notice of the Prince Regent. As the result he was appointed Astronomer Royal in February 1811, with an augmented salary of £600. The 6-foot mural circle, ordered from Troughton by Maskelyne, was mounted in June 1812, and Pond presented to the Royal Society, on the 8th of July 1813, a catalogue of the North Polar distances of 84 stars determined with it, which Bessel pronounced to be Athene plus ultra of modern astronomy. T.M. Briefxel MIT Olbers, the 30th of December 1813. In 1816 a transit instrument, by Troughton, of 5 inches aperture and 10 feet focal length, was set up at the Royal Observatory. A Ramsden telescope, presented by Lord Liverpool in 1811, proved of little use. In a paper on the construction of star catalogues read before the Royal Society on the 21st of May 1818, Pond described his method of treating every star in its turn as a point of reference for the Riester T.M. He substituted in 1821 a Mercury horizon for the plumb line and spirit level, and introduced in 1825 the system of observing the same objects alternately by direct and reflected vision, which, improved by Airy, is still employed. Memoirs Roy. Astr. Society, 2. 499. The combination for this purpose of 2 instruments was suggested to Pond by the possession of a circle by Jones, destined for the Cape, but sent on trial to Greenwich. Pond obtained permission to retain it, and it was transferred in 1851 to the Observatory of Queen's College, Belfast. Among his other inventions for securing accuracy were the multiplication, and a peculiar mode of grouping observations. He showed in 1817, by means of determinations executed in 1813 A 1814 with the Greenwich circle. The unreality of Brinkley's ostensible parallaxes for I circumflex plus minus lire tilde broken bar, I circumflex plus minus aquila tilde broken bar, and I circumflex plus minus cygni. As a further test he caused to be erected in 1816 two fixed telescopes of 4 inches aperture and 10 feet focal length, directed respectively towards I circumflex plus minus aquila tilde broken bar and I circumflex plus minus cygni, and sedulously investigated their differences of right ascension from suitable comparison stars. But neither thus nor by the aid of transit observations could any effects of parallax be detected. Bond's conclusion that they were insensible with the instruments then in use has since been fully ratified. Dr. C. A. F. Peters nevertheless criticized his methods severely in 1853. M.A. tilde copyright Moise de Saint P.A. tilde copyright Tersburg, Tom. 7. p. 47. Against attacks made in this country upon his general accuracy, and even upon his probity as an observer, Bessel vigorously defended him. Astronomical. Number 84. From a comparison of his own with Bradley's star places, Bond deduced the influence upon them of a southerly drift due to some variation, either continued or periodical, in the sidereal system T.M. Herschel's discovery of the solar advance through space appears to have escaped his notice. Airy, however, gave him credit for having had the first inkling of disturbed proper motions. A discussion on the subject with Brinkley was carried on with dignity and good temper. Pond received in 1817 the Lalande Prize from the Paris Academy of Sciences, of which he was a corresponding member, and the Copley Medal in 1823 for his various astronomical papers. He joined the Astronomical Society immediately after its foundation. Directed by the House of Commons in 1816 to determine the length of the second pendulum, he requested and obtained the cooperation of a committee of the Royal Society. He was a member of the Board of Longitude, and attended diligently at the sittings in 1829 A 1830 of the Astronomical Society's Committee on the Nautical Almanac, ATM, of which publication he superintended the issues for 1832 and 1833. The new Board of Visitors, appointed in 1830, caused him no small vexation. They took exception to his neglect of the planets for the stars, and to the rigidity of mechanical routine imposed upon his assistants. His own mathematical knowledge was very slight. The publication in 1833 of a catalogue of 1,113 stars, determined with unexampled accuracy, was his crowning achievement. It embodied several smaller catalogues, inserted from time to time in the A Nautical Almanac ATM and the A Greenwich Observations, ATM, of which he printed 8 folio volumes. In his last communication to the Royal Society he described his mode of observing with a 25-foot zenith telescope, mounted by Troughton and Sims in 1833. Harassed by many infirmities, he retired from the Royal Observatory in the summer of 1835 with a pension of £600 a year, and died at his residence at Blackheath on the 7th of September 1836. He was buried in the tomb of Halley in the neighbouring churchyard of Lee. Of mild and unassuming character, Bond neither sought nor attained a popular reputation. His work was wholly technical, his writings dry and condensed, but his reform of the National Observatory was fundamental. He not only procured for it an instrumental outfit of the modern type, but established the modern system of observation. The number of assistants was increased during his term of office from 1 to 6, and he substituted quarterly for annual publication of results. He possessed the true instinct of a practical astronomer. Troughton used to say that a new instrument was at all times a better cordial for the Astronomer Royal than any which the doctor could supply. ATM Arrigo visited Greenwich to acquire his methods. Airy regarded him as the principal improver of modern practical astronomy. Bessel, many of whose refinements he anticipated, was his enthusiastic admirer. Bond's double-altitude observations, made with his 2 mural circles in 1825 A35, have been reduced by Mr. S.C. Chandler for the purposes of his research into the variation of latitude. He speaks of them as a rich mine of stellar measurements, ATM, and considers that their accuracy has been scarcely surpassed anywhere or at any time. ATM. His catalogues are, however, somewhat marred by slight periodical errors, depending probably upon the system of fundamental stars employed in their construction. A translation by Bond of Laplace's Acis de tilde diaeresis medium mundi ATM was published in 1809, and he contributed many articles to Rees's Encyclopædia tilde broken bar dia.atm. Attributions and license. This e-book was derived from the entry for John Pond in the British Dictionary of National Biography. http://n.wiki/wiki/dictionary_of_national_biography. The entry was written by Agnes Marie Clerke, 1842 to 1907, in 1896. http://n.wikisource.org/wiki/author Agnes_Mary_Clerke. According to Wikisource, works by this author published before January 1, 1923 are in the public domain worldwide because the author died at least 100 years ago. Translations or editions published later may be copyrighted. Posthumous works may be copyrighted based on how long they have been published in certain countries and areas. The text is from Wikisource, which is available under the Creative Commons Attribution, Share Alike license. Additional terms may apply. See Terms of Use for details. You are free to share a copy, distribute and transmit the work, to remix, say, to adapt the work, to make commercial use of the work. Under the following conditions: attribution: you must attribute the work in the manner specified by the author or licenser, but not in any way that suggests that they endorse you or your use of the work. Share alike: if you alter, transform, or build upon this work, you may distribute the resulting work only under the same or similar license to this one. Cover image is from http://commons.wikimedia.org/wiki/file john_pond.jpg. It was created from an original engraving made in 1900, therefore it is over 100 years old and is now in the public domain worldwide. The end. Thank you for listening. Free Audiobooks channel. If you like the audiobook, please do not forget to click like and subscribe buttons.